Howdy, folks! Welcome back to episode 3 of Dogwoods and Dustbowls. My name is Rachel. I am your dungeon maker, and I am joined by some wonderful folks that I'm very excited to game with again. This is our 3rd out of 4 episodes. We're almost done. But, as with the start of every other episode, who thinks that they can do a recap and gain advantage on one roll for this episode?
Did I even use mine?
I think you might have.
Did I?
Maybe?
No, I just used rerolls. I could have used it for the creeps.
Damn it. Damn it, Taffy May.
Anybody want to do the recap?
Can I keep mine?
Nope.
Damn
It was just for that episode.
Do it again.
Do it.
You can try a recap for this one and gain another advantage, just in case.
I'll try.
Yeah, go for it, Reverend.
Well, howdy, my name is Reverend Wendell Theed of the Church of Merkel. The last episode, we were at the cart there that got burnt for the guy that I talked to. This is going to be a real vague. Yeah, if we can decide whether I get advantage or possibly.
We need to get to point A to point B. That's
right. All right. So we went to go investigate. At the very end of episode 1, beginning of episode 2, we had gotten to the cart where the alleged crime had happened, and we were assaulted at the end. We were ambushed, and everybody got away but one from the what was the name of that their organization? The Temple Gang. The Temple Gang. That's right. So we were able to let's say one of the members of the Temple Gang accidentally expired during our altercation, and therefore I took it upon myself to turn her into a zombie, and that became sort of a fun little escapade there, and believe Taffy May did a makeover on the zombie to try to make her look more human.
Use her name, Mimica.
Mimica, that's right. That's written right here, of course. Yeah, we decided to name her Mimica, as she is mimicking a human, or actually an elf. She's an elf, but I'm not sure about the ins and outs of that one. But anyway, so then we went back to the town. We went back to the, I believe we went to the tavern once more, the saloon, and we also woke up the blacksmith and learned that we were trying to get the blacksmith to perhaps help us with some of the. I'm trying to find her name. She had a great name. What was that blacksmith's name? Party.
Delphinia.
The one y'all had a crush on.
Her name.
Yes.
All right. I think my notes are somewhere else because they're not. Anyway, so we woke up Delphinia at like 3 o'clock in the morning and asked her if she had some devices that we could string across the road and make noise. She did not, but we did discover that the Temple Gang appears to be planning on robbing the monument. What is it? What's the name of that other town? Fellow.
Monolith.
Monolith. They're planning on robbing the Monolith Bank.
This is like a
We
fun
told the
interactive
sheriff about
quiz.
this, but the sheriff also told us that we should go talk to a witch out in the middle of the desert to get some information, and her name is Aldonza. And we are on our way. We have our directions. We know where we're going, and but the one thing I don't recall, I must admit, is why we were going to the witch before we go to Monolith. I forget. Maybe to get her to aid us in some way. Would one of you all help me there?
I am going to be honest. I forget, except that there was an option to go see a witch, and I was on board with it.
And we took that option.
Yeah.
I do also recall that Taffy May tried some of her let's just call it beauty cream on the back of one of Calliope's legs there, and it turns.
You don't know what's going on with
Oh.
my legs, Reverend.
Okay. Well, as a player, I mean, it should be part of the recap, should it not? I mean, the audience saw it. So
yeah.
as a player,
We
I would
didn't hear
say that-
anything about the bush or the
Right.
witch because we were in a bush.
As a character, I do not, but as the player, I recall a rather humorous moment where a cream was rubbed on the back of one of Calliope's centaur legs, and then it turned into a giant ostrich leg. But the Reverend has no idea that happened.
And he shall remain ignorant to that fact, because
That is fine.
not doing so well.
Oh, rustling.
If the bustles are rustling, it's time to do some tussling.
I think that's about it. I'm sure you can fill in the details there. Hopefully, I didn't earn a disadvantage with that.
No, no
Horrible
disadvantage. No.
All right.
All right. Yeah, you got the gist of it. You gain advantage. Sure, why not? Write it down. Don't
We
forget it
do.
because I will not remember and I will not remind you. I will forget. So when we last left off, the sheriff had sent his deputy, Wyatt the Aarakocra, off to Monolith to see if he could gather some forces because there was a rumor that they were either coming to Dogwood, your small town, or they were going to hit up Monolith and start hitting up bigger towns. You know, Dogwood would probably be an easier target because it is smaller, even though you have a rather prolific bank, oddly enough. Monolith would be a harder target, but with higher yield. So you don't know which the Temple Gang is going to hit next. It's one of the two. You're pretty sure about that. The sheriff had suggested, or rather asked a favor of you, though your night watch duty is over. He had asked that you go and talk to this witch in the middle of the desert. He had a vague recollection of where she was, and I believe Taffy May is the one that went to see the sheriff when he had his map out. And he sort of gave you vague directions to get there. He did say you don't necessarily have to worry about finding her house, because if you're within a certain radius of her domain, she will find you.
That's right.
You're there to ask for a favor, because, as the sheriff had told you, she is very powerful.
And
So-
sensitive.
And sensitive, you know? He did say be respectful. Should always be respectful, but in this instance, be respectful or get turned into a toad. That's the stipulation. So you had started off early in the morning. You had all gathered up at the well, met together. Poor Taffy Mate did not look like she had a long nap at all. And as we set out into the desert, following Taffy May's vague directions, we're going to go to a high noon that we got during our last game for Calliope. Calliope, you're going through a lot right now. Think for a second and tell me, how are you feeling with all that?
Oh, I should have never tried to mess with my biology. I got a crane foot and another tail, and, well, I guess I have that one patch of skin, so maybe we can. Oh, I just want to be a human. Oh, Taffy May, why'd you do this to me? I feel an unusual draft.
With that very insightful look into poor Calliope's heart, you wander off into the west side of town, out onto the road, and this is a more well-cultivated road. Most other roads out of town are just kind of wagon tracks. This is a proper road. It goes off to another town. It's quite a ways away, but when people travel through Dogwood, they tend to come this way, on their way to Monolith. Dogwood is a good stop from a bunch of other larger towns on the west side. As you're heading out, Blanche, you smell something. And there are a lot of great smells out here in the desert, especially if your nose is trained to look for these sorts of things. You can smell hot fur from an animal that's been running in the sun somewhere. You smell fresh dirt after a little light night rain. You smell leaves, but you smell something else, something fun, something exciting. And off to the right side of the road, something's over there. You can tell.
Blanche, who's just been like quietly leading Bess as we march through the desert. Bess kind of jolts forward as Blanche like runs in that direction, dragging her cow behind her. And I guess she digs through the sand and finds this small wooden ball, and she sniffs it, and then her head just starts to like wobble almost uncontrollably, and she's like, wow, this, and she's talking really fast, wow, this smells great, do you smell this? It kind of smells like mint or maybe sage, but also this is so fun, look, you can do this with it. And she starts playing with the ball. It's got sort of a catnip smell to it. And she lets go of Bess's leash and just continues walking with the group, but is like running around Bess like in circles doing loop-de-loops.
So Blanche has found a bandit stash, and it is a rare magical item, a wooden ball with holes punctured in it, inside a bundle of sage and catnip.
I gotta say, when you start digging in the dirt and sniffing at something, I got a little worried.
Valid.
No dead bodies out here. All right.
I was more concerned for a possible doo-doo situation. This is the desert.
Blanche pauses and is like, I'm offended by that.
I'm so sorry.
And then continues running around.
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to say that. Of course, you would not be sniffing none of that. I just digging in sand does not usually yield good results. What a treasure.
How often have you found matter in sand while digging?
Me? Lots. You find lots of weird ingredients, though it doesn't, it almost never is something good. Like I said, it's usually like a corpse of a dead creature or you know, that sort of thing.
Taffy May, I think you're just digging in the wrong places.
Really?
You're either very lucky or very unfortunate.
Which is it?
I guess it depends on what you're looking for that day.
It's usually never a dead animal. I don't like that. It gunks up the fingertips.
On that note, Taffy May, as you're trying to remember this piece of the map that you were shown, this general direction for where
I
you're going.
swear it's around here.
Yeah, can you make a survival check for me?
Sure. Dirty 20.
A dirty 20. Yeah, you remember the direction pretty clearly, in fact.
Yes.
Yeah. So most of what's out here, you know, you have to go off the road. And most of the directions that the sheriff gave you based on this map you were looking at are all landmark based. But you remember landmarks. You have a good mind for that. So you take the lead and you take the group off the road. It's getting to be a little later in the morning at this point. The sun is actually out and you're starting to feel it a little bit. You know, by the time noon rolls around, it's going to be a hot day. You can already feel it. So if you have layers, you will start to shed them eventually, getting into the desert. But there was a light rain overnight, so a lot of the dust that you would normally kick up has been compacted down. And the road is clear and smooth. And in fact, this little path that you have found is clear and smooth. You have to push aside a couple of low, barren trees and some shrubs, but there's a little walking path, almost like someone went hiking out this direction. And you follow it around. You see little geckos sunning themselves on rocks. There's an owl mirage that hops into the trail and off the trail when they see you here and there every once in a while. And you hear life around you. You hear birds. You see a vulture circling off in the distance over some unfortunate animal. And you continue on into the desert for a little while. And eventually, you reach an area where it dips down into the tiniest of canyons. But in that canyon, you see a big flat rock that looks almost like it could serve as a table. On that table rock, you see a figure, seated, cross-legged, in full brown burlap sack robe, hood over the head.
Is that the witch?
It could be. I suggest we
Oh, well.
approach with caution.
In respect.
I'm gonna hang back. I'm gonna be last. My nerves are a little frayed right now, and I'm a little punchy, so I'm just gonna. I don't want to say anything to get us in trouble, y'all.
Yeah, please do not punch the witch.
Can someone
Um,
else lead? By now, Blanche is draped over Bess's back. She's like, I'm tired and it's hot. And Bess has the little catnip ball in her cow mouth.
Vicky
Kinda holding
stands
it.
up, puts on his best like customer service face. Well, I think I would absolutely be delighted to talk to this lovely spellcaster if no one else is so obliged.
Our guest.
By all means. I
I'll
want
be right
to
here.
present as the silent, beautiful type.
You're nailing it, darling. Vicky will walk forward.
All right. You head down the path into this very shallow canyon. And you slide a little bit, but it's not enough of a dip that you have to make any kind of dex check. You can just plant your feet and slide down. And it's rather barren down here. Further barren than a regular desert would be. There's very few bits of plant life here. And you get down close to the table, and you see the figure is hunched over and small. Definitely humanoid in size and shape. But something about the way that they're holding themselves is very curved. A little crooked. It kind of speaks of age, without seeing any markings, any skin. You think this is probably an older person.
Would you be the witch of this area, if I may ask?
The hood lifts up a little bit, not so much that you can see into the shadow underneath it, but so that they can see you through one eye. And you hear a little bit of a chuckle in reply, but nothing else.
I was told we were supposed to come find you, potentially ask for a favor if we may. And I'm sure there's something that you would like in return, right?
A hand comes up. Long fingers, very long nails. The skin is wrinkled and spotted and dark brown, and it pulls the hood back and it reveals the face of an older elven woman. A pointed chin, a crooked nose that's been broken at one point in her life, very long eyelashes, beautiful clear eyes, deep-set wrinkles, especially deep-set laugh lines and frown lines. She has the 11 right here, is what they're called. She is at least, for an elf, in human years she'd be about 60, pushing 70. In elven years, that's hundreds of years old.
Yeah.
But there's something about her that is so young and so bright and so aware. There's something in her eyes that's very much like, this is a person that knows everything. I know we all have a couple friends like that, but it's one of those people.
May I assume that you already know why we're here, though?
I know a little bit. I do not know very much, however.
Well, let me introduce you to my delightful companions. This beautiful, silent type over here is Taffy May. I love that you already knew I was talking about you, darling. You're so astute. Then we have the delightful, playful Blanche and Bess. We have the absolutely strong, powerful, and bold Calliope. And then the wise and well-spoken Reverend Wendell Theed. And I myself am your Vicky Warren.
She looks over at Blanche and clucks her tongue a little bit, and she runs one of her very long-handed fingers fingered hands, you know what I mean, over her bald head, and she says, I believe you have something of mine.
What?
Well, not necessarily you, your companion.
What?
But
I look at Bess and I see the catnip ball in her mouth. I'm like, oh no, we found that.
And no, I am not talking about the catnip. I am talking about something else.
Oh, well,
Can I make a perception check to see where she's looking?
Yeah, go ahead.
Meanwhile, I'm scolding Bess.
13.
We just got here. Did you eat something already?
You can tell she's looking at the cow, and that's all. That's all you know.
Okay.
Oh, do you mean these? And I grabbed the tray of cupcakes from Bess's back. They were triple chocolate. I'd done like a swirl of icing really tall and dipped them in chocolate so they looked like little pointy witch hats. But we've been in the desert.
They've
so I
melted
present
just a little
them
bit.
really excitedly, but they're
Yeah.
all like
There's
lopsided
like
and melted.
a slosh of chocolate from the top.
Oh, you wouldn't happen to have an ice box, would you?
She looks you up and down. She says, "No, my darling, I do not have an icebox."
They're lava cupcakes.
They look delicious.
I just kind of look at her, waiting for her to take one.
I am not hungry now, however.
Oh.
It is
never
the
happened
breakfast time.
before.
I do not make it a habit to eat chocolate and sweets and things at breakfast.
what?
Of course. This is fine.
Anyways, tell your cow. I will want it back eventually.
Bess, what did you eat?
She can keep him for now. I know he is great company. Don't worry, she knows what I mean.
I knew this is why I said that damn cow could speak.
You
Said
did?
something, so-
You always said it.
He.
Now, and she stands up, completely ignoring that, and she's so tall. When she stands up, she's just a tall, thin figure in a long burlap robe.
Ooh.
And she pulls the hood back up over her bald head and stations it a little bit, and she says, "I know that you have most likely been sent by your sheriff, Mr. Greaves. Yes?
Yes.
He's one of very few people that knows how to find me, so I assumed. Now, what do you want?"
I'll be honest, I got a little bit nervous as we were coming here, and I forgot why we actually came here, y'all.
I think it's because I'm trying to maintain my silent vixenness, so I'm just gonna whisper it. So I think we're here to possibly ask for protection against bandits, against the
Okay,
town.
yes, that makes sense.
I think.
Well,
Or assistance of some sort.
yes, yeah. See the Reverend.
Assistance with
Reverend
what?
so much.
Well,
What kind of assistance are you looking for? I can offer many things. Give me something specific.
Have you heard of this group of individuals called the Temple Gang?
Of course I have. I do not live under a rock. I just live inside of one.
Right. I was going to say on one, but now that I know you live inside that rock, that's even more disturbing. But anyway, they appear to be... They're about to rob the bank in Monolith, and then they're about to rob the bank in our town. And we're just looking for some assistance sent by the sheriff.
And?
And hoping we can make some sort of exchange of goods or services for yours, and we can little, scratching of the backs back and forth. That nature.
And how would you, scratch my back? What do you have to offer me? Yes? You do not have to raise your hand.
Oh, well, I didn't want to interrupt anyone.
Please interrupt me.
I could offer, and maybe some sunscreen. I noticed it's very hot, and if you live out on a rock, sometimes the reflection can get quite hot, and the flesh very delicate in the sun. So if you would like some sort of protection against the sun, I could hook you up.
Did the sheriff not tell you I am a very powerful witch? Did he not tell you that?
Yes, he did, but I don't know your particular magic set of skills. And maybe you don't have a particular set of skills of protecting against suns. That's all. Thank you.
Oh, you valley folk are so strange. You're so specific.
The cupcakes
And thank
are
you to
really
the valley
good.
folk for rating us.
Cupcakes are really good. If you would just try one, I
know.
feel like that would settle this
my-
whole conversation.
My little darling, I know that they are very good. I am sure that you bake very well. However, what I have to offer you is something very rare. And I would need something of equal in return.
You are very wise. Do you have something, Calliope?
I do. Blanche, can I have a word with you? Can we just step out just a couple feet away? I know what Bess has that this witch wants, and if you don't ask me how I know this, then I will help you figure out a way to get it to her. Okay, but you cannot ask how I know.
She does this thing where she just steps away from people. I'm not really sure why, but it just happens.
I am not surprised.
I don't get jealous. No.
Adventuring parties, you're all the same.
What is
Thank you.
it?
Blanche, do you know about Bess's diet?
Bess eats everything.
Yes, that's right. Okay,
I don't know why I'm letting her carry my catnip ball I just found. That seems like a very bad idea.
She has not eaten it yet,
I
to
have
her credit.
knowledge that Bess ate something magical, and I am uncomfortable saying why I know this. Just say it's part of my lore, and I think that the best thing to do is like some kind of Western stomach pump type of thing. We got to figure out what's in there and get it to the witch, because I feel like that's the only thing she's gonna want.
But wait, is this one of those rumors? Bess is just like
It's
a
not a
really
rumor.
special cow, my prize cow. And I know there's lots of rumors around town that she's some sort of enhanced cow in some way. But no, just good old natural magical cow.
Honey, it's not a rumor. Oh. Do you believe me?
I mean, I don't know why you would make something up, but we should probably talk to Bess about this.
You want to call her over, or should I?
I do my cow call, which
What does
I've
that
now
sound like?
set. Yep, knew that was
Have
going
we
to get
heard this
asked. I now do.
What does that sound like?
Blanche, I mean, it probably just sounds like moo, right? Moo! Your Bess.
Yeah, she
Sure.
responds.
Yeah.
At this point, the witch, Aldonza, sits down on the rock and crosses her legs very daintily, just like a delicate dame. And she just watches this happen. And you get the sense that perhaps she might be somehow listening into your conversation. Somehow.
All right, Bess. I'm going to talk to my cow, even though my cow doesn't usually respond to me. And say that Calliope says she saw you eat something. Spit it up. And I'm going to take my catnip ball back.
The cow is chewing a twig that it snapped off of a tree as you were going down the road. The does not respond and does not seem to be doing anything.
Is it the twig?
May I-
Is that what you saw? Oh, yeah, okay.
May I? Okay. Bess, it is because of you that I'm in this predicament, and it is because of you that I live a terrible life. So I'm gonna need you to throw that up right now, or I will come and get it. I will reach up any end, and I will get it from you, okay? And I know I can understand you. You know I can understand you. So you better not just cut that cow stuff off.
Wait, you can understand Bess?
Yes, I can.
She
Okay,
just looks
accept
very
this.
sleepy. She's just chewing on the twig, and she looks at you in a way that you, at least, Calliope, can tell is just tired confusion.
There's a chance that she doesn't know that there's something inside of her. What's a humane way to get... I'm sure Bess has had this issue before.
We don't. Okay. I entertained this for a while, but I don't like the way you're talking to Bessie.
Wait, Blanche,
and I'm gonna start leading Bess to the other side of the rock.
Wait. Come back. I'll show you. You gotta promise not to say anything, though.
What are you talking about? And I walk back.
Are you still walking back, or can I show you something?
Oh no, I'm walking back towards you.
Oh, okay. Get over here. Don't say anything, and please don't judge me. And I lift up my skirt, and I show 2 horse hooves. And I say, I used to be a horse. I don't know how I got to be this way, but I know that I hate it. And if I can find a way to get back fully human, that would just be great. Or even fully horse, I don't care at this point. I had a friend when I was a horse who, he wanted to turn me human. And Bess got into something, I don't know what it is. Bess got into something magical, and he rubbed Bess's belly and wished that I was human, and it didn't work all the way, and now I'm half human and half horse. And it's so embarrassing.
From the rock, in the middle of this conversation, you hear a laugh, and Aldonza is sort of leaning back on her hands, and she's looking over at the 2 of you, and then she looks back at the 3 of you that are still near her, and she says, sorry, I'm hearing things. Don't worry about it.
You all see Blanche peek over Bess to see if anyone's watching.
Kathy May is not, but very actively not.
Yeah.
Oh, I was watching.
Vicky's probably looking at the witch, but there's like real confusion in his eyes.
Mm-hmm.
There's a good conversation going on over there, ain't there?
Oh, you have no
That's a
idea.
really good information exchange.
Something wrong is that if you are as powerful as you say, and I have no doubt about that, you're asking us to make an offer, but shouldn't you be the one telling us what you want?
I like you. You're very clever. No one has bothered to ask me what I wanted.
What is it that you do want?
Come inside. And she steps off of this flat plateau of a rock, and she reaches behind her, and it looks like she just grabs a piece of fabric and yanks it, because all of a sudden, a house appears on top of the flat rock. And I say house, it's more of a shack with a little door. And it's on legs. You see, crouched down on top of the rock, under the house, 2 chicken legs, supposedly holding the house up. She steps up onto the knee of one of the chicken legs and she opens the door. And it's one of those instances where the outside looks very small and the inside, you can peek in, is a massive den. She steps in and she looks back at all of you and she says, are you coming, or are you going to continue talking to the cow?
I lower myself back on the other side of Bess, and I'm like, okay, this is, Calliope, this is a lot to take in.
I know it's a lot. I know she just said that she wanted the thing that is in the cow's belly, and now I had to come clean about what's in it. I'm losing it, girl.
It's okay. I'm gonna hug her and start purring.
She probably. Oh, I feel so much better already.
I'm like, see, look at that house. That house has
I'm so
legs
much taller than you.
Yeah, I'm like hugging like your horse leg.
Oh.
The house has legs, and houses don't usually have legs, but you don't see anyone making a fuss about that. It's cool.
Are you saying we're about to step into an alive house? Because I don't want to do that.
You know what? I really don't know anything that's going on right now. But if Bess, you're saying Bess has some sort of something that.
If that is what the witch wants, then maybe she has a way to get it out without harming Bess. I don't want anything to happen to Bess. I know it wasn't her fault. She just got a hunger for her bellies. So now you know my secret. You have the burden of never telling anybody ever again.
I won't tell anybody, but I also think that if you wanted to tell at least this group here, we're all friends, and I don't think anyone would judge your legs.
Oh, Taffy May knows, and we're working on a solution.
From the house,
going.
you hear the woman clear her throat, and she says, "Would you please enter if you are going to enter? The door is letting a draft."
We enter.
Oh,
All right,
okay.
let's go.
All right, let's go.
Vicky is still not looking at Calliope, by the way.
I guess can Bess fit it through the door, or should I tie her to one of the chicken legs?
It's a weird optical illusion. It looks like she probably won't, but she tries to anyway. She just kind of automatically tries to go into the house, and she steps up onto one of the chicken legs, and she fits through the door.
I'm sorry, my cow just came in. I know it's rude to bring your cow inside, but is this okay?
Aldonza does a graceful little shrug. When you enter, you see a room that, again, is much larger than you would have expected, and much larger than you would think is physically possible.
Bigger on the inside.
It is. It is absolutely bigger on the inside. It's decorated with all sorts of little bits and bobs from the desert. There are skulls of every type, and there are bundles of flowers being hung from the ceiling. You feel right at home, Reverend, actually. And the walls and the ceilings are all covered in these beautiful tapestries being hung from the ceiling and being draped down to the walls. Deep purples and green hues. It's rather dim in here, and there's at least 3 incense going off somewhere in the room because there's cloying smoke floating to the air. You smell berries and bread and earth. Something else. You can't tell what it is. And there is a massive fireplace, a huge fireplace. And there's a big black cauldron on top of that fireplace. There's a lid on top of that, a little wooden lid, and there's a metal hanger that moves it over the fire and out. And she currently has it on the fire, perhaps boiling something. And she sits down on what's essentially a beanbag, but it's like a bale of hay that has at least 7 different cloths draped over it. And she motions towards the other ones. The floor is completely covered in rugs of all different colors and patterns and shapes and locations. There's a lot.
Had the room together.
She nods and she says, "Oh, I know."
Blanche says really loudly, too loudly, "Well, if there's any clip-clopping noises, that's just Bess. It wouldn't be anything else. Why would it be?"
No, of course, why would it be anything else? Certainly nothing powerful which would be able to help you with.
There's a lot of weird subtext going on right now, and I don't really understand it.
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Do you know the idea of the monkey's paw? Is that something that you know about?
Yeah, why?
Oh, just the idea that when you make a wish, sometimes it does not go exactly the way you want it.
That makes sense. I tried something yesterday, and it just something went wrong with it. It did not turn out how I expected it. Like, you look in the mirror and you look very wrong.
Yes, it happens, doesn't it?
And maybe people shouldn't be wishing to change other people, you know? People should just leave them however they are, you know? This is not that has to do with anything. I thought I would contribute. Did you say that you had something that you wanted from us?
Yes.
By the way, does the witch care that we brought a zombie in with us?
No, I do
Alright,
not care.
Fair enough.
It is not the weirdest thing I have seen, I promise you that. So now that you've asked me if there is something that I want, I can tell you yes. There is. I had a friend, much in the way that, Blanche, you have your cow. Beth?
Yes.
Beth.
Yes.
I had a friend as well. There's a little Almirage, the little rabbit with the horns that you see everywhere.
Oh, like a
He's missing.
jackalope?
Yes, much like a jackalope. Different kind of antler, if you know what I mean. Just the one instead of
Oh,
the
right, yeah, just the one instead of the deer horn.
two. Yes. Well, he is missing, and I would very much like to find him again.
Oh,
Where did you last see him?
The thing is, he comes and goes as he pleases. He is much smarter than the average Almirage, but he has been missing for too long now. And I would like you to track him down.
I think.
I love the friend hunt. I was amazing at hide and seek when I was a young one. Mainly it was people weren't looking. So I could hide for hours.
Does your Almirage have a name or like identifying spots or anything we can use to find him?
He answers to Malachi.
Malachi.
You will know him when you see him. He's unlike others. He's special.
How big is he?
Normal.
Okay.
He's a normal size. He's a little hefty. I feed him well. And I love him. Do you agree?
Agreed.
All right.
Good.
She reaches down behind the seat and she pulls out this long parchment. She puts it down in front of all of you and she says, "Then this is our contract.
Oh, my
I will help you defend your town if you in return help me find Malachi."
Couldn't we maybe just shake on it?
No,
These contracts make me a little nervous.
they should. You should always be nervous around a contract. But you should be more nervous if you have someone that does not sign something that you can hold them to. As I have said before, I have many powers and I have been treated poorly in the past.
You got an extra copy so we can both keep one?
No.
Well, who's
We
going to hold the
almost signed
contract?
the contract, correct?
I've made many people sign contracts as well, so I know where to put things sneakily. So I'll take a look.
Go for it.
Okay, what should
It's
I roll?
really simple. Go ahead and roll an investigation check.
Okay.
Hmm.
You said it was very simple?
Yeah, it's a simple contract. It's not like a big scroll. It's just a little scroll with a couple words on it and a bunch of lines for you to sign on.
While we're contracted, I just want to ask,
When we roll down.
can we add something to the contract? Maybe if we find your friend, you can help me with a little
Two
medical condition that I'm suffering from.
There's a look on her face. You can tell she understands something. And she says, "I can undo what he has done, if that is what you wish. Or I can help you." Madam, what is your name?
Who, me?
Yes.
Calliope Ladyfoot. Ladyfoot.
Yes, of course. That makes perfect sense. One moment, please, before you don't worry about it. And she goes over and she pulls back a curtain that's drawn on the wall, and you see a bookshelf littered with books, and some of them look absolutely ancient. They're barely holding together. And she pulls one off the wall and she closes the blind again, and she comes over and she hands it to you, Calliope. And you see that it is a compendium of different beings in the Feywilds. And she says, "You may want to, just take a look. Have a peruse.
Okay. Okay.
You may see something very familiar in there." That is all I will say about that.
This contract's A-okay. I got a 21.
Yeah, with a 21, it's, again, it's worded very simply. It basically says you will work for Aldonza, and in return, Aldonza will help you defend the town of Dogwood.
I wouldn't mind an expiration date on that because I don't want to be forever working for you.
Understood. And she goes over, and you don't see a quill in her hand, but she begins to write, and it leaves ink. And she adds a clause that you can read as she puts it down that says essentially, for this one task, if you do this one task for Aldonza,
Perfect.
then she will
Ian,
help
do
you
I
defend
need
the
to-
town once.
Do I need to roll perception or anything to look at this book?
No, you can look at the book.
I'm not certain I know how to read, and so I'm going off of the pictures.
Uh-huh. Yes. So
And
yeah, you can, if you can't read, you can definitely go off the pictures. And if you're looking through it now, you find 2 passages that speak to you specifically. There's one that's a satyr, part of the Feywilds. They are half goat at the bottom. And you see something that looks like you. Half human, half horse, minus the weird chicken leg that you now have, but
Floppy, you get bit by a fly?
for once in my life, I'm at a loss for words. Can may I borrow this? I just need to
my darling, you can keep it. I have copies.
Thank
It is for you. If you need help with some other things pertaining to that, you let me know. I can help you.
Thank you. Thank
What
you,
is
ma'am.
that?
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Don't worry
Yes.
about it. Women things.
So, yeah, just women things.
Just
Just
women
regular,
things.
normal women things.
Normal women things. Very normal.
You know, okay.
How's that
You know-
contract?
I am a fan of your work.
Contract.
She's looking at you, Vicky.
Oh.
Like do you mean my old work?
Sure, if that's what you want to call it.
Mm.
Let's just say I'm a fan. I think you are very clever.
Well, if you ever need anything outside of this, please feel free to call.
Oh. I will keep that in mind. Thank you.
I've been getting bored anyways.
Understandable. Now are you ready to sign my contract?
Yes. Sorry, that was like watching a novel. Oh. That's all right. Everyone, we're ready. We had some addendums added, and it is ready to sign on the page.
All right. One by one, unless you tell me otherwise, you go ahead and sign on the line.
I stamp my toe beans.
Cute.
Oh,
Of course.
trash.
Of course, that is absolutely how Blanche would sign. And you see, actually, Bess kind of nudges over next to you and presses her nose against it, and you see where she presses her nose, an ink spot is left. However, as this happens, the signature at the bottom that was hers glimmers a little bit and disappears, and in its place, you see the name Baba Yaga. She smiles and says,
I knew
"Well,
it.
now that you know."
Oh,
I study everyone else very carefully before taking the pen, but in my whole fist, and I kind of scribble,
Yeah.
kind of just copy what everybody else is writing. I don't really know what I'm doing.
Say really loud, "Oh, you have such a beautiful normal human signature."
Thanks, Blanche. I've been practicing my whole normal human life.
Reverend,
Aldonza, or
you're not
Baba
humans,
Yaga,
right?
stands up and she says, "I thank you for this service. And now I will help you. There is only one surefire way to find Malachi. And you will thank me later." You all feel strange. Mm-hmm. You begin to feel a tingling in your limbs as if they've fallen asleep. And the room begins to grow in size. You feel dizzy, lightheaded, a little nauseous. You feel like there's something in your throat, a lump, like you're about to cry. And it's like air is being pushed out of you. until it all finally settles. But she's looking down at you. You are all gonna need to look at the link I just put in chat, because you have been changed. When you look at each other, instead of seeing yourselves, you see other Almirage. Little rabbits with horns in the center of their forehead.
Is Bess also an Almirage?
She sure is.
Cute. A
Hey, wait,
Calmirage.
Malachi. Is there more than one Malachi?
What kind of contract did we sign?
It is not permanent, don't worry. That was not part of the contract. But
Make sure of it.
there is a place you can go. Only as an Almirage. Only in this size and in this shape.
Where's that?
To the burrow. Now go! The door opens without her even touching it. And you see sunlight streaming from outside and fresh air. And you realize the air in here is stale.
I look like just a regular Almirage, right?
You do.
Well, I feel great. Does anybody else kind of like this? It feels kind of nice. I don't know. It feels great. I don't mind it.
Happy May is obsessively just like grooming her
These two little paws. Your fur is
Little
so
paws are just-
soft.
Oh. Well, I must say this is a different sensation.
Now go. Do not return to me until you have found Malachi.
Hey is so strange.
Some of you do stumble a little bit because it's bizarre walking on four feet. Yeah.
Question.
Mhm.
Is our zombie also an Almirage?
Yeah. No, actually. The zombie didn't sign the contract.
What happens to the zombie?
She's just sitting.
Oh, okay.
Well, I guess she can wait for us in the hut
Yeah.
if we make it back alive.
Maybe they'll be nice company together.
And if I do die and the zombie becomes uncontrollable, I'm sure Baba Yaga can handle a little zombie.
I'm sure Baba Yaga can handle one zombie.
Yeah. The zombie will have to be the dark-haired Vexen now. Okay, let's go.
Do it.
It would be fun to have a zombie Almirage, though.
Hop, hop, hop.
Would be interesting.
Maybe we can make one on the way back. I don't know.
Jeez. All right, you all hop out of the house. And the world is much larger than it was before. These little shrubs that came up to your waists are now above your heads, like a forest. These smaller rocks are now huge boulders. And there are so many smaller places that you can now see. You see caves dotted everywhere around this landscape when you hop down from this flat stone table. It's an expanse. It's almost a new world. Unexplored.
It's a whole new world. Don't you dare close your eyes.
Unbelievable sights. Indescribable wonders.
Okay.
I would like to look around for the burrow.
All right. Make a perception check.
And this is using my Almirage eyeballs now.
Yes, it sure is.
Okay. It's a 10 plus 3, 13.
With a 13, you're looking around trying to get a sense of where a burrow would be. And you get a couple of ideas. There are some smaller ones. But as an Almirage now, you are being fed a lot of information. A lot of these places are empty. Lots of smaller caves that look like maybe your size if you squeeze and you tuck. But nothing like a burrow.
Well, I don't know. I'm just going to keep looking around and, like, I'll have Bess follow me.
All right, you do so. With Bess following you, which direction are you heading from Baba Yaga's hut?
I'll turn around and look at the rest of my Almirage buddies and say, did anybody see a burrow or a place where maybe lots of Almirage were hanging out?
Can help dig. I was sort of in front. They scattered when I got near. But I guess they won't now.
Maybe we head in that direction.
Can you make a history check to see if you remember where you saw the most Almirage located?
With the Almirage
Right, with the Almirage
stats.
stats. Mine doesn't currently show stats. Mine for some saying there is currently no text in this page.
Oh no!
I don't know why.
Let me see if I can copy this. That's weird. There you go.
Thank you very much.
Did that work out?
Why mine wasn't
There, that worked out.
registering.
Hold it.
That's a crit.
Oh, you remember exactly where you saw so many Almirage because you remember thinking, you know, some of that hair would actually make very nice makeup brushes. If you just like shaved it off, not hurt the Almirage.
Okay.
But you just put it on a makeup brush and you.
Like a sheep.
Yes, because it's so soft and so fine. The Almirage hair is so delicate. It would be great. And you head back
Literal
up the
proof. My paws are so soft and squishy. Okay.
You head back up the path the way you came.
I remember everything.
You do. And it takes you a little bit longer because you are smaller and your steps are not quite as big. However, you find that you can hop very far. You can go some long distances as an Almirage now. You head back to where you had seen the most Almirage collected in one location. And it was this little area where the path sort of opened up into two paths that went around a boulder and then came back together. And you get back to that exact same location and you see one or two Almirage hanging out, and one on top is just sitting on top of the rock in the sun with its eyes closed and its face turned up. So you see a couple of Almirage there.
Do you think we speak Almirage?
I think we can talk to each other through our minds.
Yeah, my lips aren't moving. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I think we can just use telepathy or something.
Okay, everybody think Malachi. Wait a minute, is there a chance that Malachi was maybe transformed against his will also, and we'd be doing him a disservice by bringing him back?
Well, I mean, if it was a contract, I don't think it was against his will. And he might have just run away because he was stupid.
Blanche gets really mad that Vicky said that because of her new knowledge of Calliope. How would I express anger as an Almirage? She says, well, even if sometimes like people being transformed into other things can really affect others' emotional well-being, and I don't think you should say that. And I'm gonna bump you with my horn.
When you do
Okay,
that, I want to
correct.
translate into Almirage Blanche.
No! Oh no!
What does Almirage Blanche look like? Do you have your same
um,
fur?
I feel like I'm still kind of stripy in patches. So yeah, I've still got sort of that silvery stripy fur, and I'm like, oh no, and I like start backing up and like hide behind Bess and put my little paws on my eyes.
Bess is just
Vicky,
chowing
it's
down.
creepy.
Yeah. All right. Well.
And then I go back to normal.
I like Calliope's idea. Let's all think Malachi really loud.
Okay.
Okay.
We never asked for
You
the
Okay.
you think Malachi really loud. Nothing happens.
Like DM, do we talk with our mouths, or is it just in our heads?
When you talk to
You
each
don't
other,
know.
it's definitely with your mouths.
Good to God.
Oh!
When you talk to each other, it's definitely with your mouths.
We are.
And maybe
We're
I mean,
so cute.
yeah.
Let's just stay buddies.
You're talking to each other in the way that like regular animals would talk to each other. You make noises. So, unbeknownst to you, when other people hear you, people or things that aren't Almirage, they're just hearing like Almirage noises. which are little chirrups and little, yeah, basically. That's what other people hear. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Vicky, do you still want to be the little communicator?
Sure.
That was so fun.
I don't mind.
How do I still have an accent as a bunny?
I don't mind it to be fun. And I'm just gonna yell in the most obnoxious voice, Malachi! Like,
As you yell, the rabbit or the almirage on top of the rock that was sunning itself startles and turns and looks at you. And looks you up and down, and then hops off, startled. And the other two that were, you think maybe in conversation, turn and look at you as well, startled, and they both tense up. And when they realize it's just another almirage, they release themselves a little bit, and one of them says, "Oh, you really scared me? What the hell, man?"
well,
Malachi?
yeah, that.
No, I'm not Malachi.
No, the one that ran.
The one that ran off.
No, that's just Tom.
Stupid Tom.
Oh.
Sorry for the urgency. We just lost someone very important that we need to get back to their home.
What?
Malachi? Just like us.
Malachi's wife is looking for him, and he hasn't come back in a long time, so we're here to get him back.
Can you make a deception check?
Yes, I can, because I have a +10 in that.
As an almirage?
Do you as an almirage?
Oh, dang it!
You have a -2.
Why would you do this to me? Oh, 17. Hey.
Don't blame me,
Well,
blame
still pretty
Bobby.
good.
A 17?
Yeah.
They look at each other and they talk in hushed tones to the point that you can't really hear them. And finally, the one you had been talking to turns to you and he says, "You're alright, I never knew he had a wife, but yeah, come with us. We'll take you to the burrow."
Do I have my knives?
No,
No.
you do
I want to
not.
find a small, sharp rock.
Okay,
Oh my
make a perception
gosh.
check for me.
Ah,
Or no, an investigation check.
crap. What stat is that?
Investigation is intelligence,
no.
unfortunately.
No. You got intelligence of 3.
That's a 0.
You don't know. You can't find one.
You have a sharp horn on your head.
You do.
Yeah, but I
You
can't
technically
throw
have a
that.
dagger.
Oh, okay, that's true.
But
You
I
can't
can
throw your
But you
horn.
with
technically
that.
have a dagger in your head.
Oh, sneak attack. Easy. All right, let's
Yeah.
go find this Malachi.
Okay. Well,
Are we trying to kill him?
Eh.
What happened?
We're not trying to kill him.
If you
Then
kill him,
again, she
Vicky,
did not say whether to bring him back dead or alive. So
That's exactly right. And she
you
did
could
say,
bring him back dead, and then I could cast Revivify on him. Just an option.
she said
Oh,
she was a
God.
fan of my work.
you want to be like this forever and
Well-
not save our town?
Hey, she knew my work was killing people when she hired me.
Wait a minute.
Hop that way.
on that
As-
note,
Okay.
we're gonna take a quick 2-minute break. We'll see
Oh, I
you in
guess I
2
said that
minutes.
Vicky was a killer.
Right.
We'll see you soon. Welcome back, partners. When we left off, you were following two Almirage to the burrow. They lead you in between rocks, weaving and bobbing, and you follow pretty easily. They're not trying to leave you behind. And they end up at what looks like two boulders that have come together, one a little bit taller than the other, and a tree is growing in between them. It looks very small, like a little olive tree of some kind. And if you look down between the two boulders, there is an opening, and it is large enough for you to fit in without having to squeeze. And they go in one at a time, just poop, poop, and disappear into this little hole.
Let's go.
Hopping in.
Right before I hop in, I find a little feather on the ground and I put it behind my ear so I feel a little bit more like myself.
A little fancier. Yeah. Easy to find you in a crowd. You go down one at a time and you have to go single file because you pop into a very dark tunnel. Just dirt around you. However, you are able to see because you do have dark vision. It's only for 30 feet, but it's enough. And this tunnel...
Now Mirage 30 feet feels like 300.
Absolutely it does. You can definitely see well enough ahead of you. This dirt tunnel goes down and it snakes around a little bit, and you see the tails of the rabbits ahead of you, and you keep following. And the tunnel splits off. They go off to the left. I'm assuming you follow. And it splits off again. And it starts to widen a little bit, so you can walk 2 by 2. And it widens even further, and it becomes almost cavernous to you, until it opens up into a massive center room. It's multi-layered. It goes down, there's a little spiral of dirt that acts like a staircase and takes you all the way down to the bottom of what is kind of a natural well. You hear water sloshing down at the bottom, and you can look over the edge and see some rabbits are bathing down there or swimming around. And you see little alcoves where families have sort of put themselves as a home, and there are roots that are coming out of the ground and acting as little seats where some of them are sitting. And there's just hundreds of them down here. Many, many almirages. And can you all make a perception check for me? Oh.
Nat 1. I'm covering my eyes because there are some bunnies who may or may not want to be spied on while bathing.
Out of 6.
5.
I'm gonna use a reroll.
Okay, go for it.
Oh no, I totally forgot that we have a bunch of rerolls we can
You
use.
have 8.
Oh,
19.
I'll use a reroll as well.
I'm gonna use one.
I'll keep my Nat 1.
Yeah?
Okay, 13.
Yeah, why not?
13 as well.
Sometimes you got.
Don't forget we have +3 as Almirages.
19.
Vicky
We're
got a
north.
19. Vicky, as you're looking over the edge, you're trained to look for faces. That's just a natural instinct that comes to you. So you notice when someone stands out. And even though it's dark in here, you see one Almirage that stands out because they are an albino Almirage. Pure snowy white with pink eyes, and their horn is like a yellowed enamel. And they're just sitting down there in a group of them. It looks like a bunch of them are napping.
There you are, Pearly. And I point my horn at him so others can see.
Can I look yet?
Napping?
Yes, I think that is probably Malachi. That one right there, the pearly white one like snow, fresh fallen.
This facial expression is perfect. Yes.
Did something are you all right, Vicky? Or is there something are you gonna hurt that little guy?
Probably not.
I know I'm always in favor of a fight, but I would like to return to my human lady body as soon as possible. So
Flappy,
So
everything you
human.
say sounds weird. Why are you two so weird? None of us are humans right now. I'm not a human. Yeah. You're not a human either, Blanche. What is this? Why are you so weird?
No, I'm just saying Calliope's really human. I mean, but also the
yeah,
other
Blanche, no one's
humans
questioning that.
in the
Why are you being weird?
When you have to say you're a human, it sounds weird. You could just say back to normal.
Malachi!
Yeah, Calliope's really normal too.
Malachi! I just leave. I just exit this conversation and I walk around and I start yelling, Malachi, Malachi!
You know, Reverend, since Calliope's gone, something weird happened. I shifted in the mirror and it was just all wrong. I think
That's right, I
Calliope
remember.
might be magic and broke my shifting.
Well, I don't know too much about your shifting magic, but I'd say everybody has an off day every now and again.
I had a duck foot, Reverend.
Would you please stop whispering? I want to listen so bad.
I'm not whispering.
Well, now we all got bunny
You
feet.
gave
so-
every time you go off on an aside, I know I'm not supposed to listen, and I
Hey,
won't.
Vicky, can you transform yourself right now?
I try to. Well, it has to be something of the same size, so I try to turn into a mouse.
You're muted.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, you try to turn into a mouse and it becomes, more like a rat,
Oh,
to be closer in size.
I didn't think that would actually work. Neat.
Well,
What do
seems like-
Almirages eat?
I go back to an Almirage.
Oh, how
You
we
notice,
gonna get Malachi? You think he's just gonna come? You think he's just gonna come with us if we tell him, or should we make a little rabbit net and throw him in there, drag him back out with us? I don't know what to do here.
We can just pick him up and carry him out.
Ask him why he hasn't come home yet. Also, I tried to wag a finger and it's just a whole paw.
Mm-hmm. Vicky, you notice after you had changed back, there are a couple of Almirage that are looking at you. A little startled and a little wary.
The smoke is getting to you. You need fresh air.
Blanche.
I didn't see nothing. I didn't see nobody turn into a rat.
Yeah.
I did not see this thing occur.
Let's go talk to the person who hasn't
Oh,
gone to see their wife in a while. Malachi. I'm just gonna say that. And I'm walking.
All right. So you head down this dirt spiral,
Mm-hmm.
sort of like a staircase, and you have to hop onto the root system where Malachi is currently sleeping in just a lump of other Almirage. But you get over there, and they're all just dead to the world, passed out, and their little mouths are open. You can see their sharp little teeth as they breathe in and out. What do you do?
So he's also asleep.
Yeah, they're all asleep.
Psst.
Heather.
What do you want to do?
Tickle, tickle, tickle.
You grab the feather with your paw. You just kind of have your paw curled around it, and you do that to his face, and his little nose scrunches up a couple of times, and one of his little eyes open, and you see pink. And he looks up at you and he says, "Can I help you?"
Are you Malachi?
Yeah? How did you know my name?
Your wife is looking for you. You haven't been home in a while.
Oh, you have the wrong person. Sorry, I'm not married.
Oh,
That was our fake story.
Aldonza.
Yeah.
I try to wink as
Alright.
funny. As
Oh, no, she's not my wife. She's just my friend.
Well, she's
Oh.
looking for you.
She misses
Okay. Well, I can't go back, so
Why not?
I have business here.
Well, can't you come back for a little while? Kind
your
of.
business. Napping?
No, my business is helping my friends.
Well, that's what we need her to help us.
Okay, well,
So if you came back with us, she would help us. And then you could come right back. I mean, you know where the
no, I can't leave.
What do your friends need help with?
There's this badger, and he's harassing
he
the
killing?
burrow. What?
Where's the badger?
Does it need killing?
Oh yeah, it needs killing.
How many steps are we? How many steps of favors are we doing to get back to where we need to be?
You don't have to do any favors for me. You
Reverend.
can just
What
leave
if we
me
took care
here.
of that badger for you?
Reverend, I think Vicky needs to let off some steam, if you know what I mean.
You know, it'll be a lot easier to kill a badger when, you know, we're back to our regular forms. So why don't you
What are
help
your
us?
regular forms?
We're
Human
humanoid
mixed.
in
It's
nature.
mixed.
Mixed.
Malachi, what if we make you a deal? What if you come back with us? By coming back with us, we agree to kill your badger.
No, I can't leave them. I'm the only one here who can fight, and if I leave, the badger's gonna come in here. He's gonna kill them all. I'm not gonna
We
do
can
that.
all
Well, if we
fight.
go to kill the badger, will you leave with us to go see?
I will not see her until the badger is dead.
All right, let's go. I'm gonna try to pick him up.
Don't touch me.
All right. Well, getting conflicting messages about if you're a
I
nice
never
person.
said touch me.
I didn't touch me. I'm grumpy.
Do you
Is
want
that
us to?
humor?
Do you want us to help you kill the badger?
Yes.
Well, let's go. Can you lead us to the badger?
All right. God, you're all very snipey.
Yes.
Well, we've got a lot of things going on right
we
now.
met a
Well,
witch.
so do I.
Right,
Lots
like
of my
sleeping?
people are dying because of a badger. And here you come. Oh, you have to go back to Aldonza.
I just whispered to Taffy Maid, this guy is a little difficult, isn't he? I kind of don't feel like helping him.
Just a little.
You know, I have very large ears and I can hear that.
Well, I apologize. I think it's in their nature to be nappy and snappy. Because ever since we became Mirages as well, I also feel a sense of like agitation and extreme tiredness.
There's a vibe here, and we need to.
Exactly, a vibe. Also,
Vibe.
I think I
Wash
have
it.
a problem, Calliope. I cannot handle people whispering around me. It makes me want to snap.
Were you saying you were going to help me take care of this badger?
That's right.
Yeah.
Have you ever fought anything as an Almirage?
How's
Yes.
Oh, but we appear to still have our spells.
Oh, you're one of those! Oh, you're magic users. Okay, well, alright. This won't take very long then. Come with me. And he gets up from the little root bundle that has been created on the side of the wall, and he starts hopping back up this spiral dirt staircase, and he leads you off into another branching set of tunnels. And the tunnels keep veering off in different directions, and he leads you around, and you have to hop down and up a couple of places, and you have to climb a little bit of a hill inside. But eventually it comes to a dead end. There's a bunch of rocks and things in the way, and he looks back at all of you. The tunnel is large enough that you can be about 2 by 2 with a little bit of room left. But he looks back at all of you and he says, oh, we blocked this tunnel because it leads right to their burrow, which they put right next to ours so that they could, attack us in the middle of the night. Or
Sure.
I say us, but they're really just my friends. So we just need to break this down. If you think you can just take care of him, then help me break this down and we can attack their burrow.
Have you considered? No, that wouldn't work. Never mind. We should never go with my first plan. It's always wrong.
I would like to attempt to, because even though I witnessed Vicky using his changeling skills, I would like to try to attempt to cast a cantrip to make sure that my theory is correct.
Mm-hmm.
So I walk back a bit in the, I hop back a bit in the tunnel, and I attempt to cast light on like a rock in the tunnel to see what happens.
You look down and you cast light, and all of a sudden you're all almost blinded by this bright light that comes out of nowhere in the darkness. And you had been using your dark vision, so all of a sudden it's like going from darkness looking straight into the sun. It's so
That's
bright.
the cantrip that I got that wouldn't cause more of a commotion, but I think our spells work.
Yeah, your spells do work. And for statistics purposes, you don't have to worry about using like your spell attack modifier based on the creature. Your spells and that ability are going to be separate from like perception and other things.
Excellent.
Yeah, because that's much more internal than your perception would be. Your perception is based on your Almirage eyes at this point.
All right. Spells are working.
This poor badger's not gonna know what hit him.
Definitely not.
I'm going to tell my cow Mirage to come help me move pebbles with her bunny mouths. But as we do that, this whole time Blanche has been quiet because she's just staring at Bess. And while we're moving pebbles, Blanche is going to ask, Bess, can you understand me?
The Almirage that is Bess, that has the same spots in the same places that Bess does, turns and looks at you with her same tired face. She's still chewing on something, like a little branch. And as she's chewing, from the corner of her mouth, she says, yes.
Bess, I just want you to know you're my best friend. And I'm going to hug her with my bunny paws.
You're my best friend. And she hugs you back and she says, thank you for all the cupcakes.
Oh, you're welcome. Do you have a favorite flavor of cupcake?
All of them.
Okay, that's valid. That's my favorite too. But also,
All of it, Vicky.
is it true what Calliope said? That you ate something?
Yes.
Like magic?
My stomach has been upset for a while. I ate something in the desert a while ago.
We should, I mean, if it doesn't belong to you, we should probably give it back. But is that why when I make wishes on your stomach, they come true? Or is that an unrelated magical thing?
No, I think that's why. I'm sorry. I'm not magical myself. I'm just a cow.
Don't talk about my best friend that way.
Oh.
You are magical.
Thank you.
Okay, well, but I guess we'll just enjoy this type of magical for a little bit longer.
You know, he's very rude.
Oh, you know what? We're gonna get rid of him. It's not worth it.
Okay.
And then I go back to moving pebbles.
Okay, she just joins you, starts burrowing. But she does, like, glance over at Vicky. Hello,
What
Vicky.
the hell? So were you talking to me or was it him?
Oh, I can't talk to you. Only he can. But I have noticed you looking at me. And she keeps digging.
That's a lot to parse. About that badger? Oh, God.
Alright, you keep digging. There are a couple of larger boulders that, I mean, to you they're boulder size, that have been sort of wedged into the ceiling. You manage to pull them down pretty easily. None of them fall on your heads, none of them crush your paws. And you end up with an opening that is just wide enough that you can go through one at a time. Malachi goes through first. And he is now on the other side of this wall of rocks.
I'll go second.
Okay. Who's third?
Okay. I was double checking something because the first thing you sent said that we could teleport.
That might have been one of the non-official ones.
Okay, yeah, all right. The official one does not let us teleport, so I will also walk through normally.
Okay. And you're third. Who is fourth?
I'll be fourth. I'm just kind of, I still have this book with me. It's quite difficult to carry, but I am.
Are you really carrying the book around with you?
I'm carrying it because I'm looking at a certain picture and I can't seem to focus on much else, and it is very heavy, but I'm not, you know what? I'm just going to make this easier on myself and rip that page out.
Uh-huh.
Keep that with me.
Okay, so this entire time you've been running around, you have, like, the cover of it in your mouth, because that's the only way you can carry it, and you're just dragging it through the dirt. So you get to this point, and you're like, you know what? You rip out the one page. Just the centaur page?
Just the centaur page, yeah.
All right. And
You want me to go next?
can roll it and
You
have it
seem
here.
preoccupied.
Oh, yeah. You go ahead. I'm just, this witch gave me a fiction book, I think. I don't know. She doesn't know I can't read, but it's a sweet gesture. Maybe it was just to give us some confidence or something.
If you need to help reading the page, I'd love to help.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, can we do
They
it?
taught us at college.
Can we? Okay. I hand her the page and I say, don't read it out loud, whatever it is, okay?
Okay. Also, does Blanche know now? I feel like I just get this sense that I'm not the only one that knows the secret now. Because
Blanche knows. Blanche knows. I thought that the witch was gonna make the cow give the whatever turned me from a horse into a half human. But we didn't go that way, and so now she just knows and is being super weird about it.
I think she's doing pretty good. She's making sure everyone knows that you are definitely human.
About as subtle as a brick, Taffy May.
I know. You just gotta rub some dirt on that brick, make it look more subtle. I don't know. I'm not good at metaphors anymore.
Okay, what does the page say?
So you're reading the
Centaur.
page. It's a page about centaurs. It's a race of people.
A centaur.
They're half horse, half human. It's how they were born. And it's a totally normal thing. And in fact, you have been to Monolith. You've seen a couple of centaurs. There's a banker in the large bank in Monolith that is a
What
centaur.
the heck is wrong with me? I've seen. Oh my gosh, Calliope. I hate.
What does it say?
But you know what? I don't think this is a fiction book. In fact, I think I've seen one of these before.
Malachi turns around and says, "Can we do this another time? You know,
Yeah, no.
mass murdering badger here.
Yeah,
Can we
sorry.
go take care of that one first? Thank you."
Collide.
I hate that guy.
I know, that's nifty. Just have faith.
Well, put your mass murdering on hold. Let me read a book first.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Weird day.
All right. Malachi, at the head of this group, leads you through this tunnel, and the tunnel has just become smaller. And again, it sort of branches out until it becomes large enough for something at least 3 times your size to move through. And you see all along the wall scratch marks. This is not smooth and pacted down in the way that the Almirage burrow was. This has been torn out of the ground. It's someone with very large, sharp claws that has dug out this burrow, and this burrow is very simple. It is a large series of tunnels that goes out into one larger room, and Malachi inches forward in the dark, being very cautious. You all hear a noise ahead that sounds like a conversation. You can't quite tell what kind of conversation is going on because it's not in a language that you understand, but it's 2 sharp voices, very gruff, arguing with each other. And Malachi gets very low to the ground and turns and looks at you and says, "Okay, we didn't have a plan. You know that badgers eat Almirage, right? That's something that you knew before getting into this?"
You did mention it.
Okay.
Question: are badgers sensitive to light?
I don't think so.
Oh. There goes my second idea.
Maybe I can make a wish on Bess's belly and see if it does something helpful to get rid of the badgers.
You can try.
Alright,
Does Bess make wishes? And he looks at Bess and she just looks back at him and says nothing.
I'm gonna touch her soft bunny belly.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go, I wish that we could get rid of the badgers, and I would like to cast Hunger of Hadar, which makes a big sphere of blackness and bitter cold, with a cacophony of soft whispers and slurping noises, and potentially, it's just a warped fabric of space, no tentacles.
No tentacles on this version.
Yeah.
Okay.
The badgers would need to make a dexterity 15 saving throw.
However, you have not seen the badgers yet.
Oh, I haven't yet. Okay,
Yeah.
well then I would not do that. I would wait
Okay.
until we see them.
Okay. So, are you going to move forward until you can see them? You just hear this sound of bickering up ahead.
Maybe we should sneak forward.
Yeah. Can we sneak forward?
All right. Everybody roll me a stealth check.
Okay, this is stealth with my
Roll
bunny
for
feet.
Malachi as
It's
well.
some
So we have
nonsense.
+5 to our stealth.
You ruined me.
Just for now.
Never mind, I'm fine.
17.
10.
15 for Bess.
Okay.
Take back my comments.
13.
We're at 25.
I think you're fine, Vicky.
Yeah.
Reverend, what'd you get?
13.
13. Okay, you're all actually pretty stealthy. And you all together stealth up ahead, and this large tunnel that you're in, for something that is easily much larger than you, opens up into a larger cavern, just like the burrow on the other side. And you can kind of peek around the corner, and you see 2 badgers that are facing away from you, and they're just bickering to each other. And every once in a while, they turn and look at each other, and their lips are curled back, and they're showing their teeth. And they're just kind of hissing at each other until they go back to looking at whatever they're looking at and talking to each other.
Taffy May looks around and just says, I'm really glad we don't talk to each other that way. And she's going to use her action, or her bonus action, to use Mantle of Inspiration. And 4 of you can add 8 extra hit points to your tiny hit point pool that we have right now.
Oh.
You're the best at pep talks, Taffy May.
Thanks. And also, you can all use an immediate reaction to move your full speed without provoking any opportunity attacks. So just so you know.
Nice.
You can charge right now if you want. Just saying.
I
Blanche,
guess.
were you gonna?
Yeah. I guess I will do this. And I'm like making this wish, and I'm like, Bess is probably going to turn them into bunnies as well, and we'll all get along, and it'll be great. And unbeknownst to her, Cass, her Hunger of Hadar.
All right. What is the check they have to make? And is this like a darkness sphere that you can't see into?
It doesn't note that you cannot. Oh wait. No light, magical, or can move, and creatures fully. Oh, well. I guess I did it. Okay, it's going to be on the... she's going to cast it so that the badgers are right on the edge of it. And it is a Dexterity 15 saving throw.
Okay. Let's see how they do. They both succeed.
Okay. I
One
guess
was a
there's
nat
just
20.
a terrifying black void sphere there right now.
The funny thing is, it's good that the sphere doesn't encompass them, because when you wish on Bess, you hear that familiar raspy voice respond, and all it says is, okay. And as that happens, you cast the spell, and you see this dark sphere that misses both of them. They jump back, almost as if sensing something. But you see their bodies begin to twist and contort. And they shrink, and then they grow and they shrink. And their fur begins to fade away and is replaced by scales, until you are no longer looking at badgers. However, you are looking at 2 snakes that turn and rear their heads and look backwards at you. And that's where we're going to roll initiative.
What?
It's fine.
It's fine. It's fine.
I lied to you.
Is it Al Mirage initiative or?
It is
Oh, yeah.
Al Mirage initiative.
Oh, it's the same for me.
Which is,
6.
where is that?
That will be your dicks.
Oh, just stacks, all right.
Add your dicks.
Well,
Can I use a reroll?
You can if you want.
I don't want to be this far down.
Calliope, that was a 12?
I got a
yes,
16.
ma'am.
16 for the Rev.
I also got a 16, but I'll go second.
Okay. In between these two is Blanche. Vicky?
10.
Taffy May?
15.
All right. Let's see how Malachi does. Okay. Thankfully, there are more of you than there are of them. However, top of the round is one of the snakes. The snake stumbles in a weird way. Unused to this body, unused to moving around without limbs, it rolls a little bit over on itself, but it manages to wiggle its way over to you. And at the front of the group was Malachi. Unfortunately, the snake goes to bite Malachi. Let's see how he does.
Not what we need.
I'm fine about that.
I guess we could just bring his body back. Say we did all we could.
Fortunately, that will miss. The snake snaps at Malachi's ankles, and he backs up and looks at you, all of you, for guidance. That is all that snake is going to do. Reverend, it's your turn.
I'm not messing around here. I'm going to cast Ray of Sickness at 3rd level on that snake, and I'm going to use my advantage.
Oh, okay. This might be a really short battle.
All right, I get a 19 to hit.
Yeah, that'll hit. Which one are you going for?
The one that just attacked.
Mm-hmm.
And he then, let's see. He will take 19 points of damage and must make a con saving throw at 15 to not be poisoned.
He's not going to need to bother to make that saving throw because he is a snake.
His dead body is poisoned?
His dead body actually is immune to poison.
Oh.
You think perhaps because of the poison that seeps from his own fangs.
Fair enough, fair enough.
All right, Reverend. Anything else you'd like to do? Any bonus actions?
That would be it for now.
All right. Blanche, it's your turn.
Yeah,
There's one snake.
Okay, so that one snake, I'm going to say, oh no, none of this was what I wanted or expected. I yell at Bess's stomach. And I'm like, okay, let's do what we normally do though. And I rub Bess's tummy and I'm going to try to cast Eldritch Blast, which I imagine come out of my horn.
Mm-hmm.
So I get 2 of them. The first one is a 19 to hit.
That'll hit.
And the second one is an 18.
That'll hit.
Okay, so I deal 12 force damage with the first bolt and 9 on the second.
All right. I knew this was going to be a short battle, but this is hysterical. You shoot these eldritch bolts out of the tip of your horn. It gleams for a second, then pew, pew. This snake looks like it curled up on a grenade. It just goes into chunks, and it just plasters the ceiling of the burrow with snake. And we're out of initiative. That's all. That's
Okay.
all.
Does one chunk land on somebody's horn?
Oh, it sure does. And guess what, Reverend? It's yours.
Tastes like chicken.
Malachi turns and looks at all of you and he says, "Oh yeah, I forgot. Your magic users. Yeah, well."
Right. So, badgers have been taken care of. You gonna come back with us now?
Yeah, thanks. You just saved the entire burrow. Otherwise, they would have died without us. So, thanks. I really appreciate that.
No problem.
They're like little powder puffs. Oh,
Yeah,
a round
okay.
of powder puffs for the group.
Sure. All right, well, come with me. And he leads you back out of what is now the snake hole, full of chunks of snake.
Gross.
Yep, it's pretty nasty. And you hear behind you as you all leave a little plop as something falls from the ceiling and hits them.
Ew.
You head back out into the tunnel. Malachi leads you very easily through the tunnels back out, and you hear a little bit of a cheering coming from the burrow as he pops his head in to deliver the news. He leads you back outside into the desert, and he leads you through the desert. And by this point, it's starting to get to noon. And he sends you right back to that flat tableau of stone, the table, and there is the house, crouched on its 2 little chicken feet. And he hops up to it, he hops on top of a leg, and he scratches at the door, like a little cat. The door opens inward, and he hops in. Do you follow?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
As we go in, I'm going to say really loudly, aren't these unusual legs great? Unusual legs are such a fun surprise that can be appreciated. They make this
Yeah,
house
Blanche.
unique and special.
Yeah, Blanche, sounds great. Thanks for we all feel great about the legs. Taffy May, can I see that paper again?
Yeah.
We're done murdering. I didn't really do anything though. Can you tell me what it said?
Yeah, I don't know why I never mentioned it before, but I have seen a creature called a centaur. I for some reason I never thought to mention it because you were a horse and they are centaurs, but now you are a centaur. You're not a half human or a half horse. You are a completely different creature. You're not half of anything. You're a whole centaur.
I take a moment. I'm still a little bunny rabbit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you are. For
I
now.
do kind of what I would normally do in this situation, which is sort of a wheeling tornado kick with my hooves, but instead I just do kind of like a little cute flip.
What is that called? There's a specific word for when rabbits do that, where they like jackknife in the air. I think it's called a kip.
Yeah, I do that.
Yeah.
And you telling me that this is a real thing and that this is a real thing?
Yeah. It's real.
Taffy May, why'd you say that earlier?
Well, cause I didn't know you were half horse, half
Well, now I'm not even half horse, half human. Now I'm also part crane.
well, that part I'm working on.
They'll never take me now, Taffy May. I lost my chance. And who knows if they'd even accept me. I'm a freak because I'm not like them. These centaurs, they're probably born as centaurs, not all horses that had a child make a wish and rub on an enchanted cow's belly and have turned it into a human.
Rachel, you're better than any other centaur, cause no other centaur has a chicken leg. Not one.
All right.
Do any of us hear
All right.
this?
Blanche
You're
is
very
doing a really awkward dance, trying to like distract. Like, look over here.
That's what it's called. It's called binkying.
That's the cutest
I
thing
know.
in
They
the
just
world.
like
and
jackknife
down.
in the air. It's so cute. So as
I'm
this is
doing a lot.
happening, Aldonza kind of leans over, and you look up and you see this human's face, but it's massive because you are so small. And she says, "I do not mean to intrude, but you have found Malachi for me. Would you like to return to your normal selves?"
Calliope, just ask her. I can't help you. I'm not good enough.
Well, Taffy May, now I don't know. Do I want to be a regular human lady like I've been trying to do my whole life? Or do I want to be a centaur? Or do I want to be a horse? I don't know. Oh, I'm going to have to think about it, all right?
Okay. I would like to go back to normal, Miss Aldonza. Baba, please.
I'll take that. All right, it's close enough. You all feel the same sensations of tingling in your limbs, the pin pricking, like you've been asleep on your limbs, and you begin to feel a little sick to your stomach, a little nauseous, a little dizzy, and the room begins to shrink in front of your eyes until all of a sudden you are back to your normal sizes and your normal selves. And in fact, Calliope, you're back to being just a regular old centaur. No chicken leg.
Just a centaur?
Yeah, just a centaur. She winks at you.
I can feel my foot again. I can feel my hoof. And I shake my little bustle around and I'm like, just my tail. I'm gonna step outside and just have a moment to myself and just have a little private time. So
Sure.
thank you very much, and I'll catch up with y'all later. And
Oh, you may
I'll
want
just-
to stay inside.
Oh, okay. I'm just gonna go over by the bookshelf.
Sure,
then.
we are about to leave. Before we do leave, Miss Tiffy,
Yeah.
may I see you for a moment?
Uh-oh.
And she pulls you off to the side, and she opens a curtain. She pulls it back, and there's a small room that she leads you into. It looks like a very small greenhouse. It's cramped. It's just been sort of added on to the back of the house. There are plants everywhere, and a glass ceiling and a glass wall. And there's very little room to stand in, but you and Aldonza can stand in there together. And she looks down at you. She's still rather tall, and she very gently puts her fingers underneath your chin, and she says, "You do have a gift.
Really?
You are very talented. However, you are standing in your own way. I would like to give this to you. Free of charge. No favor needed." And she reaches into her sleeve and she pulls out just a small, very plain silver mirror. It's on a little stick. You can hold on to it. It's a little hand mirror, and she hands it over to you. It has just like the tiniest hairline crack in the upper corner. And when you look into it, Taffy May, you see yourself. But just as yourself. You don't see the makeup. You don't see the hair curls. You just see a girl. And she reaches out again and she puts another finger on your cheek and she says, You're a beautiful woman, regardless of what you do here.
I don't understand.
I know.
No one paid attention to me when I looked this way.
They did not know you, and they were not good people. If they knew who you were, if they knew the beauty inside, but also on the outside, because Frank, you are very beautiful on the outside, regardless, they would know. The ones that bother to get to know you for who you are, those are the important ones.
Thanks.
Also, it does a little bit extra, don't worry about it. As you look into the mirror, you notice there's a specific shine about your eyes. Bright, clear eyes. And you get a boon.
Ooh.
You have a +5 to perception checks from now on.
Oh!
Yay!
Wow, this is quite a difference from the way I felt a couple nights ago. It was like I had dusted them forever. Whew.
Make sure to write that down.
I will.
Because I will forget. All right. Aldonza leads you back out and closes the curtain, and the curtain sort of swings when it does, and you notice when it swings back, you just see a wall instead of the room you were just in. It's like it just disappeared. She comes back into the center room and she says, "By the way, I was looking through my belongings while you were gone, and I found this flyer. I think you will all want to see it. I have many flyers, I just collect them." And she reaches into her other sleeve and she pulls out a rolled flyer and she puts it down. And on the flyer, you see a wanted poster for the Temple Gang. You see 4 figures. You see a Goliath, very tall in the background, a huge square face, no eyebrows, but somehow with an angry disposition. You see a fire Eladrin, a young woman. She is shaved on one side of her head and there's a cut in her eyebrow. You see a dwarf at the head of this group. He's gruff. He also has a crooked nose. He has a cut along his chin that goes down across his neck and down over the other shoulder. And you see an Aarakocra, who is very familiar. You have seen this Aarakocra before.
Is that the deputy?
You see Wyatt, the sheriff's deputy.
Double-crossed.
Hey, that's the deputy.
The sheriff's been double-crossed. We gotta warn him.
Well, then we had better hurry. Sit down. Otherwise you will fall. And as she says this, the floor beneath you begins to rumble and the house sort of moves like it's on the waves. And when you look out the window, your zombie's still there. She's just sitting down.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
or you left her.
Oh, thank God, Mamika.
As you look out the window, you notice the outside is moving. As the house stands up on its 2 chicken legs and begins to walk towards the road. And that's where we're going to end episode 3. Our next episode will be the finale!
Oh!
What was gonna happen next?
Very exciting! It's gonna
I
be
would get
fun.
to kill people, Vicky.
Yeah. No, this is gonna be a combat where you're actually gonna have to do some stuff, so it's not gonna be easy.
It's not that
promise
easy.
you.
Not that easy.
It's never that easy. All right, let's go around. We're gonna say who you are, where we can find you. If you have anything to plug it now. I love you all very much. Thank you for joining me for episode 3. Let's start with playing Mr. Vicky Warren. Gabe?
Hi, I'm Gabe. You can find me at Gabe James Games across the internet. I don't have as many shows that I'm doing right now. I'm very excited to have this one. I haven't really gotten to be in much of like a cowboy kind of setting, so this has been a lot of fun. You can find most of my schedule stuff on Twitter. Other than that, Gabe, I do cosplay, voiceover, game design, all kinds of stuff. Stay busy, but it's fun that way.
Heck yeah. All right, we're gonna move down to for Calliope Ladyfoot. Miss Whitney Moore.
Wow, what a journey you took her on tonight. Hi, I'm Whit. You can find me at Tweetney Moore, and all of my projects are there. I have a newsletter where I give you art recommendations and music recommendations, and you can see my interviews over at Tower Records. And also take bystander intervention training. There are resources online. If you see some shit, you can de-escalate.
Very, very important. Playing the Reverend of Merkel, Jason Charles.
Hey, I'm Jason Charles Miller. I'm here on Twitch, I think like 5 days a week now on different channels, but tonight I'll be on my channel, Jason Charles Miller, for my Whatever You Want Wednesdays request show. And this Friday is my online record release party that just got approved to be on the front page of Twitch.
Whoa!
My new album that's coming out on Friday, From the Wreckage Part 1. I know, there's people still buy CDs. I can't believe how many people bought, actually. I'm really excited, except I fill all my merch orders myself, so that was an experience. Anyway, yeah, so I can't wait to be back next week for the finale.
Playing the ever lovely Tabaxi Blanche Lively, Miss Lisa Penrose.
That's me. I'm Lisa Penrose. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch at Lisa Penrose. If you like witchy things or tabletop role-playing games, that's me. If you like witchy things in particular and tarot cards in particular, I guess I will plug my Etsy shop, Penrose Witchery, where you can get my tarot zine and also my beginner's witchcraft zine that are out right now.
Hell yeah. And the beautiful Miss Taffy May, Gina DeVivo.
There we go. Sometimes the space bar works, sometimes. I'm Gina DeVivo. You can find me online at Pocket Gina. I stream in various places over the internet. Check out over at the Q Times channel. We have been running a Star Trek show, but we are going to be doing some wild community fulfillments, and we're going to be doing some really, really fun, unique games coming up. Really fun one-shots, so there's nothing to catch up on. Just come and enjoy and see people flex and be GMs for the first time, and it's going to be really exciting. So stay tuned. Those are going to be Mondays, and it's going to be really fun. So yeah.
And I'm Rachel Seeley. I was your dungeon maker today for this episode of Dogwoods and Dustbowls. I like dungeon maker. I think it sounds fun. I am the DM of the last season and this current season of Girls Guts Glory. We have the finale next week for that as well. Oh, so 10 a.m. on the Girls Guts Glory channel, but also we are being hosted by D&D over on their channel, so there's ample places you can check us out. Please tune in. It's a big final battle, and I'm really excited about it. I am also on Cyberpunk Independence. I play a ridiculous little netrunner named Billy the Kid. It's also cowboy themed. It's great. It's a lot of fun. And I am also a streamer on Sunny Seeley, and that's where you can find me. I'll probably be live tonight at some point doing, I don't know, Overwatch probably. I love you all very much. Remember to wear your masks and drink your water. Be nice to each other. Have some fun. Do some creativity things. And we'll see you next time, partner. Good night.